Hey everybody, what's up? Gary Simon here. So we have a sponsored video from YellowImages. Now, YellowImages, you can find them at YellowImages.com, and basically they offer a lot of really great assets if you're a graphic designer, web designer. I already covered them before in their Images 360 solution, which is very, very cool. I'm gonna link that in the description so you can check that out. But they also have tons of mock-ups, 39,233 mock-ups. You can find mock-ups of pretty much anything that you search for. They also have a creative store. We're going to work with that in a project here as well as creative fonts. Now without mock-ups, you have to display die cut or use Photoshop to demonstrate the design, but it never just looks quite right. Now YellowImages mock-ups, they actually look real, and they have a resolution of at least 3500 by 3500 or more, so you can always go with the larger image. You can see stitches, like if you're dealing with shirts or apparel, you can change the size, and it just all in all looks very professional. So the files are really well structured and clearly labeled, and you're gonna see it only takes seconds really to drop your design in and just give it a really great real life look to it. And one of the biggest things it allows you to do is, I used to be a logo designer. I designed a ton of logos, and early on I would just show them the logo as is, just straight from Illustrator, not on a mock-up. And then I wised up and I started displaying it on like mock-up business cards and t-shirts and stuff, and I found that really reduced the amount of revisions that I had to do. So using these type of mock-ups, especially the high quality mock-ups that YellowImages offers, it's really going to cut down on your workload. So it's absolutely awesome in that regard. Now in this video, I'm gonna use YellowImages and their mock-ups along with an asset from the creative store to create a announcement social media post essentially for my upcoming UI Design Bootcamp, which is, yes, officially releasing this next Tuesday, March 17th. All right, so I also asked YellowImages to give you guys a 30% off coupon when you sign up, and this is limited to just 200 coupons. So check the description in order to take that coupon and take advantage of it and sign up. All right, let's get started. All right, we're first gonna go to object mockups. All right, so in object mockups, as you can see, there is a bunch of just different types of mockups that you can place your designs onto. We have a phone, we have lotion bottles. There's a ton, as you can see, well over 10 pages. There's tons of mockups, and of course, there's a search function so that you can actually narrow in on what it is what you want. So for this first one, let's just do a shirt. So if you type in shirt, you'd think you get maybe a few results. No, you still have over 10 pages of results based on shirts. And when you hover over them, it'll show you, just kind of like how it looks when you have a design on there. They're all YellowImages branded. So people have gone through a ton of work to make these, as dynamic as possible and to cover like every scenario possible. You can even have a football player. And these are all editable, all right? So let's say, for instance, we wanted to do this men's polo shirt mock-up right here. As you say, I already have this purchased, and it'll show you just a few different examples. It is really high resolution as well. Like for this one, it's 5,000 by 5,000 pixels. Tells you the file size, and if you download the Psd mock-up, it's gonna be fully editable in Photoshop, all right? So here's what that actually looks like. So that same file opened up looks like this, all right? So basically, if you've never used these smart template sort of Photoshop files, we see here in the layers, this is where you're gonna really wanna focus on the most, the layer section. And you can toggle on to visibility to see kind of what each layers are doing. And in the part where it says design, this is where you put in your design, of course. So right here, if we toggle on some of these, we can see there's a front design. And if we double click, it has this little icon here. This is the actual part where you put in your design. So for instance, if I make a new layer, Control-Shift-N, make this black, and then we put some type in here, and I'll just put duh, really large. This is so cool, by the way, when you get to see this on the shirt. All right, and then I save it, Control-S, like any other document. Look at that. It's just automatic And it looks like it's actually a real shirt with the whole folds and the wrinkles and the perspective. It's all awesome. And you can move this around and make changes. You know, if for some reason you want it at the bottom. Look at that. So cool. Now, of course, I don't have an actual design, so let me just do a time-lapse video of something I would do with this type of shirt. All right, so here I go. I have my UI, short for user interface. That's for the upcoming design bootcamp. So let's just say I wanted to have this as a part of a shirt, right? So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to also come here and let's take the background color for this, and let us take that and paste that in. We'll get rid of that duh text. Very professional, Gary, right? All right, so then we will, let's see here. We're gonna paste in that design. So you can actually take a copy selection from your clipboard from Illustrator and then just paste that straight in instead of importing the actual file. We'll do Smart Object, and that way we can scale it to any size. And we'll put this like right here. All right, let's save that. Now let's check out what the result looks like. Oh, look how cool. I think I kind of want to see on the other side of that area, maybe right here. So let's scale it down just a tad bit, maybe slightly push it over and save it. And then because it's such a big file, it takes a little bit of time. There we go. Look at that. How cool is that? So now, you know, if I were to present this to a client, you know, this right here just looks so much cool. It shows it in a real context, and they're more likely to accept this design if you feature alongside of the design that we had originally, like this thing right here. So really, I recommend showing both. All right, so for this one, let's do another one. I'm going to do kind of like a poster for social media announcing that my upcoming UI Design Bootcamp on Scrimba is releasing this next Tuesday, March 17th. All right, so I want it to be fun. I'm going to use our mixed industries, really. We're going to take the alcohol industry and mix it with my UI design release. And what I mean is I want to create like this cool sort of label on it and like a liquor bottle that has like, it says UI design or something on it. And then create a real quick poster out of it. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. So we're going to type in liquor, okay? And actually, no, we're going to type in alcohol. I think that'll give us more results. And if I scroll down, of course, there's just so many really cool, you know, when you hover over them again, it shows you like what it could look like with an actual label. Of course, how you want it to look is depending on how you want to, you know, how you design it. So if I click this one, which I like, it's kind of at a cool tilt. You can see I already purchased it. Some of them actually come in 3D models as well. And the 3D models are really cool because obviously it gives you a lot more flexibility if you understand and know how to work with 3D. But so I'm just going to do the Psd Mock-Up. And so I have that open already, and this is what it looks like, you know, very similar to the whole, you know, the how the first one had this blue grid pattern on it. And so it gives you so many just different areas which you can change up things. Now, of course, let's say for instance, you're not a great illustrator, right? But you want a cool sort of like label design for like a bottle. Well, you can use their Creative Store for just that purpose. So, for instance, if I go to Creative Store, you can see there's a lot of different types of things that they're offering here. There's a lot of interesting fonts. I think this one right here would look really cool as an actual label that we could place upon that bottle, right? So a lot of these, if you scroll down, it's going to show you, you know, this is like a font that it's going to give you, but it also gives you a template as well. It's going to tell you what it includes. All right, so with that opened up, we'll go to Illustrator, and now after you install the fonts that are included with it, we can just double click these and edit the type, which is really cool. So if I take, let's see here, let me double click into this one. Now we can edit this type. So I can make this say Bootcamp, all right? Because that's what the name of the whole course is. Now, this looks a little bit strange with that extended O. So I think instead of doing that, I might do, let's see here, B, capital B, O-O-T, capital C-A-M-P. All right. All right, now that looks a bit better in my opinion. All right, so now I can come up here and we could say UI Design. That's a really cool typeface, by the way. And I'll just put Gary Simon right here. Learn Design. Over here, we'll go ahead and edit this part, and we'll just say March 17th. And then we'll just put the full release date, March 17th, 2020. Now, look how quick and easy that was and custom, and then you have all these other awesome graphics that somebody spent a lot of time on in order to make them work. So now, if I take this and copy it, we'll go back to Photoshop where we already have this opened up. So now we need to find where we can actually begin. If we come to filling, by the way, we could fill this up with alcohol. So each template is going to have different properties and things that you can modify. So let's take this, and the label design is right here. So it's a smart object layer. And then we can just paste this right there. So let's go ahead and just save that and just see what it looks like. We may have to adjust it to make it, consistent with how we want it to look. So I think it's a little bit down too far, right? So what we can do is just push this up. We'll save it. There we go. That looks actually pretty solid. So then we could do something like this. We'll take the background. We're going to change it to almost a black. You never really want to go all black. Oh, this is an actual shape layer, so we could just change it right here. Get narrowed into where you want to go. I think that's pretty good. Now this right here, the white bottle, like the glass, it doesn't behave like that behind it, like with a dark background. So instead, we could see there's a bottle. We could do this. This actually looks pretty cool like that. Or we could take it with the opacity way down. There. Now that looks really cool. So now I can go to image and canvas size. I could take our width and really extend it out. I think I'm going to go like this. We're going to change this to 70, but we're going to take the height in to about 40. We're going to hit OK. Now it's going to cut off some of it. And that's okay though. Now I'm going to take all this, hit Control T. I'm going to scale this down right around there. All right, very cool. Then what I can do is I can go ahead and I can take our same selection that we are from that's in the clipboard, and I could paste it in here as well. Let's put this like right here. And then I'm going to right click to rasterize that smart object layer, and then I can go ahead and take the magic wand tool, make sure contiguous is off, delete everything. And look at that. I mean, this looks really solid already. And these are generated with these awesome, really well-designed assets with the help of YellowImages. So now, one final thing, just to give it a little bit of depth, I think, we're going to take, where's the bottle? Let's see here. We're going to create a new layer, Control-Shift-N. I'm going to take the paintbrush tool. Now that's a little bit too big. Let me just come down. I'm going to type in like 800. There we go. Then I'm going to go ahead and take, let's get that scaled down to maybe like 600. And then we'll go ahead and just refine this shadow a little bit more, like that. And then we can also take the opacity down just a tad bit. And look at that. Very, very, very cool stuff and very easy to use. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Again, if you're a graphic designer, you're designing, and even if you're a web designer or a UI designer, you can take advantage of the Images 360 solution. And if you're not sure what that is, check it out on their site, and also check out the link, the video that I did before, like last year, showing exactly how cool it is and how you can use it to really enhance your UI designs. All right, so as always, there's a 200 coupons, and it's a 30% off coupon if you go to YellowImages and take advantage of that now. All right, guys, see you later. Goodbye.